Hello, and welcome to episode 493 of Prog Review. Today I'm talking about Do Not Disturb by Graaf Generator, and it is the 13th, count them, so 13th studio album by VDGG, and according to Peter Hamill, it is probably the final Graaf Generator album, which is a bit sad because they're getting so old, you see, and they might not be here for another album. That's what he said in an interview. Don't have a go at me about it. That's the thing. I've had a bit of a problem with this review, and I'll tell you. I'm going to explain why. Firstly, don't buy this. Do not buy this. Do not buy the vinyl. It is an inferior product. How so, Darren? Is the mastering all wrong? No. It sounds fine. There's nothing wrong with the actual audio, but it's a completely different record to the CD edition, which is like the standard edition, if you know what I mean. Firstly, the track listing is completely different, and there are 2 tracks missing. Oh, that's good. Pay more, get less. I like that strategy. So I was listening to this, and I know many of you say, Darren, you've not listened to it enough. You haven't let it soak in. Well, guess what? I've listened to this a lot. I've listened to it many times. Too many times, probably. You know, sometimes you can listen to an album too much, too soon, and end up just detesting it. And that's where I was at. I was at the point where I was going, oh, this album, what is wrong with it? And I had a real trouble with it, right? Real beef. And I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't know what to say about it. And I was like, oh, what can I say if I was heading down this is a load of old baloney route. And I thought, oh God, I can't deliver another one of those reviews, not after the Marillion album. Well done for getting to number 4 in the charts. Make me look a complete pillock, Marillion. Oh, well done. I think it's good, that you've success, but makes my review look really stupid. Well, I'm really stupid. I look really stupid, so nothing new there. But yes, I had a real problem with it. So I said to the missus, here, listen to this. Because she loves Graaf Generator. She's a really big Graaf Generator fan. No, she is. Seriously, she really likes them. And she went, yeah, it sounds like Graaf Generator to me. Yeah, it's all right. And I said, I just can't put my finger on what's wrong with it. And she said, well, step back from a bit, come back to it, You don't have to review it, quickly. You don't have to, jump in. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, anyway, on eMusic, the digital version, the CD version arrived. So I downloaded that because I got the credits. Wait a minute. I know what this is. Radioed. But that's for another video. We're not doing that now. I was like, so anyway, eMusic. So I downloaded the eMusic. It's only something like £3 something or other on there. And I noticed that the track ordering was different and there was 2 extra tracks. I thought, okay, that's a bit different. So I listened to it again. And what I've said about sequencing an album, about tracks being put in the right order. Sometimes the album's got to kind of flow. Well, guess what? That works. The CD/digital version, it flowed, and I got it and understood it, and it felt more comfortable to me. Whereas the LP version, I don't know, it just didn't fit together. And like I said, it was giving me it was really, really, really bugging me. So anyway, I listened to the digital version and it was like listening to a different record. It was like listening to a completely different album. And that shocked me. Why would it shock me when I know that I'm absolutely right, as I'm always right? I'm always right. But yeah, it really did underline that thing about, having the track listing the right way round is sometimes key to an album's stickiness, its appeal, its and this is it. And so yeah, if you are buying it, don't, if you've got the vinyl, get the CD or get the download off of eMusic and listen to it in that sequence. And also there is a track missing. But anyway, let's talk about it. Starts with the song Aloft, and it starts off, you know, very, very gentle, lovely chords. It was quite nice, and you got the loud, quiet bit. It's all right. Again, this album is very much all right. It's not a great record. It's not a bad record. It is straight down the middle. All right. Alpha Berliner, which appears on the second side, opens the second side of the LP, but is the second track here and makes more sense. Again, all these songs are kind of like almost wistful, looking over the shoulder. You know, they're that kind of feel to it, and you know, yeah, very contemplative. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way of describing it. And Alpha Berliner is another one. It harks back to earlier days. Room 1210, again, it's one of those songs about a man who's, you know, it's a kind of a narrative song. Okay. Forever Falling was missing from the LP, but it appears here, and it is a really good upbeat track, and it should have been on the LP. Why didn't you put it on the LP? Why do you do this to me? I could have, if I hadn't have checked this out and realised that there was a different version of this album, I would have gone down a completely different road with this review and gone, oh, it doesn't fit, feels wrong, 2 out of 5 or something, and everyone would have bollocked me again. So, you know, really, really, guys, you really nearly got me a good bollocking again. Not fair, not fair. And so, yeah, Forever Falling is a really good track, and it's not on the vinyl version. You don't even get an MP3 download code in the vinyl version of the whole album, which I think is really fucking mean-spirited of Esoteric / Cherry Red Records. I don't think that's fair, especially when there's stuff missing, and that's supposed to be the limited edition, and you pay a premium for it. So I'm really fucking annoyed. I'm really fucking annoyed about that. I am. You know, this isn't fake outrage. You pay, like I say, 20 odd quid for the deluxe limited edition version. It's the vinyl, and you're 2 tracks missing. Okay, the second track that you're missing is an instrumental called Shigata Gainai, which I imagine is Japanese. I think it means keep off the grass. It's an instrumental. It's easy come, easy go, but it helps with the flow of the album, because the album, you know, it's got a flow to it, you know, whereas the LP didn't. It was kind of a bit, oh, what's this? I know I must have said yes. It's a funny little thing. The worst part about it is the cod jazz ending bit, and it's bad jazz or what? Could have done without that. And again, on the LP, it ends the first side, and so you listen to this really awful bad jazz. It is. It's bad. It's a bad. I know some of you probably really dig it and go, yeah, man, this is. But no, bad jazz. Bad jazz. Brought to book again is. And these are fairly lengthy tracks. These are like 7 minutes. Almost the words is 7, nearly 8 minutes in long. Yeah, in fact, nearly 8 minutes. Let's say they're actually closer to 8 minutes than 7. And so these songs aren't short. They stick around a bit. And it ends with a very, very nice track called Go. And that sums up the album. The album, it kind of ends with a whimper rather than a bang. If this is the last VDG album, it ended with a whimper rather than a bang, and that's a great shame. Or it's the sound of a large prog balloon slowly being deflated. Is another descriptive way of describing it. But anyway, again, as a record, it's a bit. I know VDG albums are a bit of a downer. That's it. That's what we turn up for. But it lacks that spit. It lacks that curled lip and that anger that some of the other tracks have. It's not as bad as Trisector. It's not as good as Grounding in Numbers. I thought Grounding in Numbers was quite decent record. It was okay. But again, I got this problem. I got this problem because I had a false start with it. I listened to the LP and then I listened to the digital CD version. And so my initial response to this was, oh man, this is a real clunky record. it just, like I said, it's all about feel. It just felt a bit. Whereas now, so I'm in conflict. I'm in real conflict about this album, because I know the vinyl more than I know the digital, if you know what I mean. So it's funny. It's funny how it can completely change your perspective. And it is a matter of perspective. It's again, it's got a lot of those Van der Graaf generator, stylistic ticks in it. It lurches from one, a passage of genteel music to you know what they're like. You get a lot of that in there, almost to the point of it kind of being parody. You're thinking, oh, come on, guys, really, but it's enjoyable because it's Van der Graaf generator, and you like it because it's them. It's it's an interesting album. Bit of a downer, a bit desolate in places, a bit miserable, but I expect nothing less from VDGG. So yeah, is it worth checking out? Yeah, I think it is. I think it's worth giving a go, especially if you're kind of curious. I mean, of the 3 post David Jackson albums, Granny Numbers was all maybe this might be just again I'm just talking because of what happened with the vinyl, my vinyl experience. This may just have the nose, but yeah, funny record, funny LP. But worth checking out. It is worth checking it out, especially if it is their swan song, because it does actually feel like a swan song. Once you hear it, you go, yeah, this is very much a swan song. So, which is a shame, really. It's a shame our heroes can't live forever, but alas, they are mere mortals like us, and all of this is a mere distraction of our own impending mortality. End on a downer, Darren. Hey, why not? A rating. Right, in terms of a rating, he says, this is a tricky one, because I've got this, haven't I? This I'm going to go with 2 alpha ballooners for that. But the actual digital / CD version goes, I'm going to give it a solid 3.5 Forever Falling. Yeah, 3.5 Forever Falling. So you got 2 reviews here. It's two for the price of one. Ain't bad, is it? And I think the last track, Go, is very wistful, and it's a good way, kind of a good way to end. But it's a shame there wasn't some of that hellfire spitting acid that we're used to on some of the other tracks. But hey, none of us are getting any younger. And on that battery light is flashing red at me, so I am going to pack up. My name's been Darren Lock. I have been talking about Van der Graaf Generators, possibly their final album, Do Not Disturb. And I think it's an adequate swan song. It's a bit sad. I'm just a bit sad. I don't want anything to end. I want everything to carry on forever, don't I? But then that's because, Anyway, there's only one more thing to say, and that is, are you ready for it? Prog on.